on Saturdays thrill, college kings clash, chasing that wheel. Sundays bring the pros, big hits, big plays, NFL battles where legends are made. From rivalries fierce to underdog shocks, we break it all down. It's the Blitz and the Block. The field to the digital chain, Bitcoin's pumping, altcoins rain, Web3 waves and DeFi stacks, NFT drops and big market hacks. Insights you need, no hype, no fluff. Crypto decoded, we cover the tough. Yeah. The Blitz and the Block. Where football meets the blockchain. Let's dive in.
All right, welcome back to the Blitz and the Block. I'm Katie Randall, and I'm here with the one and only Crypto Dan. Dan, are you feeling that preseason energy yet?
Oh, you know it, Katie. I mean, I can't run a 40 anymore. Heck, I can barely run to the mailbox. But I still get hyped for preseason. And this year, the Hall of Fame game was, not exactly a nail-biter, but it set the tone. Chargers just steamrolled the Lions 34-7. Trey Lance looked like he finally remembered he's a top pick, right?
Yeah, I was honestly surprised. Lance was sharp, and the Chargers' offense just kept rolling. Meanwhile, Detroit's backups, oof, they couldn't get anything going. I know it's just preseason, but you want to see a little more rhythm, especially from guys fighting for roster spots.
Totally. And it's not just the games. Training camp drama is already in full swing. Terry McLaurin wants out of Washington, which, I mean, can you blame him? The Commanders are rebuilding, and he's been Mr. Reliable for them. Now he's eyeing a contender. Chiefs, Eagles, maybe.
Yeah, and that's not the only QB drama. Anthony Richardson in Indy is making things interesting. He's revamped his whole approach, diet, mechanics, you name it. Now he's neck and neck with Daniel Jones for the starting job. I love a good camp battle, especially when a young guy is pushing a vet.
And then, the injury bug. Isaiah Likely's got a foot fracture. Ravens say he might be ready for week 1, but I don't know. Foot injuries for tight ends always make me nervous. Quinnen Williams with the Jets has a calf strain, but that's supposed to be minor. And then you've got rookies like Maxwell Hairston and Malik Neighbors. Both had scares, but sounds like they'll be okay.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the rookie buzz is real. Braylon Allen with the Jets is making a name for himself in camp, and in Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs is already getting first-team reps over David Montgomery. That's a big deal. And Travis Hunter in Jacksonville, he's practicing both ways, which is wild. I remember my own D1 preseason, just trying not to mess up in front of the upperclassmen. The nerves are real, but that's when you find out who's got it.
You know, I always say, preseason is where legends are born, or at least where you get your shot. And it's not just the stars. Guys like Mason Taylor with the Jets or J.K. Dobbins in Denver, they're getting first-team looks. It's a reminder that every rep counts, especially with injuries and contract drama shaking things up.
Absolutely. And for fantasy folks, this is the time to watch those sleepers. But hey, let's not get too far ahead. Preseason is unpredictable. One week you're the camp darling, next week you're fighting for a roster spot. That's the beauty and the heartbreak of it, right?
Couldn't have said it better. And speaking of unpredictability, the crypto markets this week, wow, talk about a roller coaster. Should we shift gears?
Let's do it. But first, here's a little public service announcement. When we discuss cryptocurrency, we are not providing financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Therefore, please conduct your research before investing in any product or service. I hope that we made that clear. So, if you thought NFL preseason was wild, crypto said, hold my beer. Soft U.S. jobs data hit Friday, and suddenly it's risk-off everywhere. Bitcoin dropped over 3%. Ether and the altcoins got hit even harder, and Coinbase stock just tanked, down 18% after a rough earnings report. Meanwhile, gold and bonds are rallying. It's like, what year is this?
Yeah, it's classic flight to safety. Gold's up, bonds are up, and crypto's just not. But here's the twist. Even with the sell-off, July was a monster month for crypto ETFs. U.S.-listed crypto ETFs pulled in $12.8 billion in July alone. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust is now managing over $86 billion. That's like bigger than some of the major index funds. And Ether ETFs? $5.43 billion in July. Institutions are piling in, even as retail is, I don't know, maybe a little spooked by the volatility.
It's wild. And the SEC's approval of in-kind creation for crypto ETFs is supposed to make it even easier for big players to get involved. But then you look at Bitcoin's on-chain velocity. It's at decade lows. People aren't moving their coins. Over 70% of Bitcoin hasn't moved in a year. Is that a bad sign, or is it just the new normal?
That's the million-dollar question. I mean, I've been in this space 6 years, and my own approach has changed. Used to be I'd trade a lot more, but now I'm holding more. Just like the institutions. ETFs, corporate treasuries. They're locking up supply. It's bullish for scarcity, but it means fewer on-chain transactions, so velocity drops. But here's the thing. Off-chain activity is booming. Lightning Network, wrapped Bitcoin, all that stuff doesn't show up in the old metrics. So, is Bitcoin a store of value, a payment rail, or something else? I think it's both, but the balance keeps shifting.
Yeah, and it's not just Bitcoin. Ether's seeing huge inflows too. But with all this institutional holding, you get less movement, fewer fees for miners, and maybe a perception problem, like, is this just digital gold now? Or is it still usable money? I guess it depends on who you ask.
Exactly. And, as we talked about in a previous episode, this tension isn't new. Bitcoin's always been pulled between being a store of value and a medium of exchange. The low velocity just means people are treating it differently. If velocity picks up again, maybe we see more retail action. If not, maybe it's just macro collateral for the big players. Either way, it's a sign of maturity, not necessarily decline.
And with all these new tools and layers, the way we measure activity is changing. It's not just about what's on-chain anymore. Speaking of new tools, let's talk about what's happening at the intersection of AI and crypto, because that's where things are really getting interesting.
Yeah, this is the stuff that gets my inner nerd fired up. So, Zero-G Labs just dropped a bombshell with their Dilo-Co-X framework. Basically, they figured out how to train massive AI models, like 100 billion parameters, on regular office internet, not just those hyperscale cloud data centers. We're talking 10x faster, 95% cheaper, and you don't need to rent half of Amazon's servers to do it.
That's huge. I mean, for businesses, it's not just about saving money. It's about control. You don't have to be locked into AWS or Google Cloud anymore. Startups, universities, even governments can train big models in-house, or at least without giving up all their data. And for anyone worried about privacy or compliance, keeping data local is a game changer.
Right, and it's not just about cost or privacy. It's about who gets to play in the AI game. If you're in a country or industry that can't afford the big cloud bills, this opens the door. Plus, with decentralized training, you're not as exposed to vendor lock-in or geopolitical risk. I mean, there's still some concern with China Mobile being involved, but the way Zero-G set it up, your data never leaves your control. That's a big deal for compliance.
And it's not just the infrastructure. AI tools like Google Gemini and ChatGPT are changing how crypto traders operate. Gemini can scan news, filter signals, and help validate narratives in real time. It's not perfect, can't do live charts or execute trades, but it's a powerful way to cut through the noise. ChatGPT's great for structuring trades and coding strategies, but you still need to double-check everything. No AI is going to save you from a bad trade if you don't do your homework.
Yeah, I mean, I use Gemini for news scans and sentiment checks, but I always cross-check with on-chain data and real price feeds. It's a tool, not a crystal ball. And as these AI models get more integrated into Web3, I think we're going to see a whole new wave of decentralized AI-powered crypto infrastructure. Imagine DAOs that can analyze markets in real time, or wallets that flag risks before you even click send. We're not there yet, but it's coming.
So, if you're a trader or investor, now's the time to experiment. Try out Gemini for narrative validation, use ChatGPT for trade planning, but always verify with real data. And keep an eye on these decentralized AI projects, because the next big leap in crypto might not be a new coin, but a smarter, more open infrastructure.
Couldn't agree more. And hey, if you're listening and you've got a favorite AI tool or a wild idea for how AI and crypto could collide, let us know. We love hearing from you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of The Blitz and the Block. We'll be back soon with more preseason drama and the latest from the crypto and tech front. Dan, always a pleasure.
Always, Katie. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to stretch those knees and keep your wallets safe.
See you next time.
The plays have been called, the charts have been checked. From the gritter and hits to crypto's tech. Touchdowns scored and tokens rise. We've covered it all, no compromise. Stay locked in as the seasons turn. With every update, there's more to learn. Football, fire, and blockchain shocks. Only right here, the Blitz and the Block.